All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is so exciting to be back together for another State of the City address. This year, we have a wonderful program planned for you, and we are going to go ahead and start, as we do almost every single event in Norco, with an invocation. One of those things I'm extremely proud of that we still do. So I'd like to call up Pastor Michelle Ehrenberg to lead us in an invocation.
Would you stand as we invite the presence of God tonight? How fun. What a wonderful, wonderful evening this is. And I just love the community here. How beautiful to see all of you gathered tonight. I want to read to you from Proverbs 22. A good name is more desirable than riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Rich and poor have this in common: the Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep it going and suffer for it. Humility and fear of the Lord bring wealth and honor and life. And I love the humble servant that we call Mayor. I just love that he gathered volunteers here tonight to showcase all of you. Let's pray. Dear gracious God, thank you for the tremendous time and talents and dedication of so many gathered here this evening. As we gathered and talked and shared, we share a common love for service and community and a commitment to helping to build bonds. We are family. Thank you, God, for this unique, wonderful place. Lord, we thank you for Mayor Newton's leadership and his dedication to Norco and the people who live and work and play here. We invite you to be present tonight as we celebrate the volunteers and the nonprofits. Lord, please bless Mayor Newton as he shares his heart, his vision, and his joy for the dedication in this city. Thank you for all who serve with him and who are here tonight. God bless the United States of America, and God bless Horsetown, USA. Amen.
Thank you. If you'll go ahead and remain standing, at this time we are going to have the presentation of the colors by the Norco High School Air Force JROTC. All right, and we are going to have Miss Ella Hawley come out and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. Pledge to the American flag. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
And now for our national anthem with Miss Presley Tennant.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched her so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the of the brave. Thank you all.
Please be seated. I don't know about you, but every single part of that presentation was 100% Norco, and I could not be more proud to be a Norconian than right now. So we had a lot going on this evening. I hope you enjoyed the farmers market that was put on out front by our folks at the Eat Cultural Center. We certainly appreciate that they moved and they came up here for the week. If you liked what you saw, if there were things you're like, man, I need that, and I didn't have my card or my money tonight, they're every Thursday from 5 to 8 over at the parking lot between the Legion and the Eat Cultural Center. So I hope that you can make that an every Thursday thing where you go and visit the Eat Center. They always have something new, and it's supporting local farmers. That's really, really important. We're supporting local farmers by going to that. So thank you again to the Eat Center for being here and for our local farmers. The other thing that's really exciting about tonight, you can look around the room and see all of the different community organizations that are here, that are a part of our community, and how wonderful is it to see such a diverse group. We have athletics, we have civic groups, we have agricultural groups, we have equestrian-based groups, we have schools, we have public safety. And again, I'm hoping that you use the time before we started this evening to walk around and see what Horsetown, USA really has to offer. For a small community, there's plenty of choices how you can use your evenings and weekends and get involved in our community. And with that, I'll give a little plug. I'm pretty sure every single group that's here would love to have volunteers for their organization or their group. So if you have some extra time and some special talents that you would like to donate, please talk to these clubs and organizations and volunteer your time. Norco is a community of volunteers. And if you don't see that this evening, I would encourage you to come talk to any of your city council members, and we'll get you signed up and connected somewhere so that you can see and experience that Norco really is a community that's built on volunteers and volunteerism. So tonight would not be possible without the financial support and dedication of several of the sponsors of our event. So I would like to recognize them this evening. How many of you enjoyed like the hors d'oeuvres that were passed around? They were pretty good, right? So that is due in large part, among other things, to our sponsors. So Cap Rock Partners, Harper and Burns, Norco College, Riverside County Supervisor Karen Spiegel, RKA Consulting Group, Waste Management, Western Riverside Council of Governments, and Wildan. So let's give a big round of applause for our sponsors. And I'd just like to recognize one more time and appreciate our Air Force JRTC and Ella and Presley coming to participate in the program and make it uniquely Norco and a special evening for all of us. So again, a special thank you to those for participating. At this time, I would like to call on Supervisor Spiegel. She has a really quick presentation that we're going to do right here with the mayor. So Mayor Newton, if you'll come up for just a second.
Well, I want to just thank the entire Norco team that put this together. I did not see Greg out there setting things up, so sorry. This is I've attended many of you know that I attend the State of the Cities, even when I was on city council in Corona. This was a hit out of the park. This is the best that I have seen as far as not the speaking, because we haven't spoken yet, so I can't say that yet. No pressure. But to include so many entities within the city Norco, and as Robin keeps saying, it defines Norco. This is Norco. And I have 6 cities in my district, and I'll tell you, none of them are like Norco. That's what's exciting. So on behalf of my office, we want to just honor you with just a certificate, acknowledge the state of the city, and I'm looking forward to see how many mistakes you make. I do.
So why do we have a State of the City address, and really what is it all about? A State of the City is a time for a community to come together to celebrate the great things that we've done as a community, to talk about and recognize some challenges that we might face in the upcoming year, and to set a path forward for our incredible little town. This is a community event that the mayor chooses a theme and builds a speech around that theme. Mayor Newton's theme for this evening is celebrating the spirit of Norco. And as we look around the room, it's pretty clear what some of the important attributes or the things that make up the spirit of Norco. The spirit of Norco is equestrian or Horsetown, USA, and you can see that very clearly as you look around the room. But we also see that Norco is patriotic and cares about our veterans. You can see that Norco cares about our young people through the schools and the athletic groups that are here this evening and the clubs. We have 4-H and FFA here as well. We can tell that Norco cares about each other. Groups like the Kiwanis and Rotary and Lions are here to help build each other up, to build leadership, to build civic-minded citizens in our community. We see groups here like CAL FIRE, our Citizens on Patrol, that care about making sure that our community is safe. We see groups like Seniors and Pets and NHA and the football boosters, again, making sure that people have a place where they belong. The spirit of Norco is based in agriculture, and we see groups here, new farms that are coming up in Norco, the Cultural Center, again, tied back to our roots as an agricultural committee. I couldn't think of a better place to have this event. Those of you that have attended before know we rotate around. And as Mayor Newton has picked the theme of community, George Engel's Equestrian Event Center speaks to the heart of this community. There's multiple events going on here, many times on the same day in different genres, and different times. And so there could be a quinceañera going on in here. There could be a roping going on up at the arena, a dog show over at the park. Again, this is like the heart of our community up here at this center. We think about the amazingly beautiful Veterans Plaza that's here and the events that happen there. This center is the heart of this community and Norco. As I think about words that describe Norco, I think patriotic, I think tenacious. I know stubborn is one of those terms that we can certainly use to describe ourselves. But I think when we think about being stubborn, it's one of those things that makes Norco uniquely Norco. People are passionate in their thoughts and their beliefs. People are passionate about this community, and they want to see Norco grow and be better. Norconians are hardworking, and they're caring, and they give to each other when folks are in need. I think we've all witnessed times where people can be arguing about something, and as soon as somebody's in need, those folks that were arguing with each other, they step up and help anyways. That is Norco. So a little bit about Mr. Mayor. Mayor Newton is somebody that I think, as I think about those words and those adjectives about Norco, they're all great descriptors of him as well. He's tenacious. He fights for the residents of this community. He reads budgets and agendas line by line. And again, he's looking out to make sure that we are doing the best for our community. Mr. Mayor is one of my partners in crime, I would say. Has a great sense of humor and is one of those folks that is going to tell it like it is. There's no need to sugarcoat or dance around what we need to say. Mayor Newton's just going to say it like it is. And that is one of the things that I greatly appreciate about the mayor. You always know where he stands on an issue and why he stands where he does. And so I certainly appreciate that. The mayor and I have had several conversations before on a variety of topics and agenda items that come up before the council. And one of my favorite things when we're kind of going back and forth and debating on an issue, well, I'll bet you a nickel it turns out like this. And that's probably because he's pinching pennies and doesn't want to bet any more than a nickel. So he's pretty tight-fisted with the money. So ladies and gentlemen, I would love to introduce to you somebody again that is just an amazing champion for the city of Norco and really cares, and that is evidenced by the hard work and time and dedication that he has given as the mayor of Norco. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Greg Newton.
Thank you for your kind words. It's an honor and a privilege to be here tonight. It's very gratifying to see so many people in attendance. I recognize that we all lead busy lives, and I appreciate you taking the time to join me this evening. I may be the keynote speaker featured to give an update on the state of our city, but we're really here to celebrate the spirit of Norco. Tonight we are honoring all of the nonprofit organizations and community groups that are so active in Norco. Every one of them making a community a better place to live, work, or go to school. I hope you were able to meet and speak with these dedicated people who care so much about Norco and make our city such a special place. We always say Norco is built on volunteerism. These organizations are the heartbeat of our community. The work you and your colleagues do in Norco is tremendously valued and never taken for granted. Let's give all our nonprofits a round of applause. Tonight, I invite you to join me in celebrating the spirit of Norco, which includes Norco's ability to face any kind of challenge and discover opportunities in the process. First, I'd like to introduce people I work with on a regular basis, not just every other Wednesday, but all week long. Mayor Pro Tem Robin Grunmeyer, Councilmember Catherine Allman, Councilmember Kevin Bash, and Councilmember Ted Hoffman. Being an effective council member is a 24-hour job. We're constantly taking the pulse of the community, hearing feedback, solving problems, and creating opportunities for residents, businesses, and business owners so they can thrive and enjoy a better quality of life. Occasionally we disagree, sometimes more than just a little, but we respect each other because we all serve on the city council for the same reason. We care about Norco and we want to make it a better place to live. This is a city council that I'm proud to be a part of. This is my second opportunity to serve as your mayor, and I'm honored to deliver the State of the City of Address tonight, which wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors and our city partners. I'm going to start by speaking about what brings us together. We're here tonight because we all chose Norco as a place to settle, raise a family, start a business, or just enjoy life. Maybe it's the safety that attracted us, maybe the good schools for our children, or maybe it is just because this city just feels different than anywhere else in Southern California. I found Norco after I moved to California from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was looking for a place to board my horse and ended up at A-Bar Ranch, now part of the Silver Lakes property. The first time I drove into town, I immediately felt at home. I saw the sign that said park and ride. I swear, I assumed that's where you could park your truck and trailer and go for a ride on your horse. My family and I have now lived in Norco for 28 years. During my time as a board member of the Lake Norconian Club Foundation, I learned that the lifestyle of the original Norconians was not too different than from today's Norconians. Norco was laid out in half-acre lots because its founder had a vision for a quality of life built around a self-sufficient economy, knowing that large lots make people feel they can control their own destiny. These early townspeople were looking for a fresh start when they settled here, just like a lot of us, and a place that they could put down some roots. Some raised animals or grew crops that were sold in town, others built furniture, others were metal workers. These early home buyers felt like they had found the promised land, and that attitude still exists among today's Norconians. In fact, that outlook is being revived by local groups like Norco FFA and the Eat Cultural Center, who hosted our community's farmer market tonight and has created programs to teach residents how to farm and how to be self-sufficient. There are only a handful of communities in Southern California that guarantee large lots. This characteristic has become part of Norco's DNA and is the primary reason that we are now in an equestrian historic district. We all came to Norco for different reasons. I'd like all of you to think just for a moment about why you came to Norco and why you've stayed. Although we may have come for different reasons, we've all stayed for the very same reason. We really care about Norco. When we are faced with challenges, we need to remember the opportunities we enjoy just by living here. So let's review the state of the city, focusing on some of the issues that define Norco's current quality of life. There are many great schools in Norco, including Norco High School, JFK Middle College, High School, and Norco College that are all here tonight. Norco schools are well known for being award-winning programs and their teachers. I've witnessed this firsthand, not just because my daughter attended local schools, but by sitting on city council with Robin Grunmeyer and Catherine Allman, who are teachers in our school district. Local parents are not content sitting on the sidelines, but are constantly volunteering with school programs and exceeding fundraising goals. Many of these parents are also here tonight. Speaking of sidelines and goals, Norco coaches are among the best in the state, and there are trophy cases all over town that prove that Norco is a community of champions. I'm looking forward to watching our local teams add a few trophies this year to further prove that Norco isn't just Horsetown, USA, but is also Sportstown, USA. Just as excellent schools are essential to a good quality of life, so is a sense of security. Law enforcement has never been an easy career, and across America, there are dedicated men and women putting themselves in harm's way. I want to acknowledge and also thank the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, which greatly contributes to our own quality of life. This department provides all the resources of a world-class law enforcement organization with state-of-the-art equipment, facilities, and expertise. But it also gives us personalized, community-based attention. We're caring deputies, still know residents by name, some more than others. I want to thank the leadership of Sheriff Chad Bianco and our local officers from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department for being such a great friend to the city of Norco, your first contract city. We appreciate the service of your department's exceptional men and women. One of the best decisions we ever made as a city was to contract our fire protection and emergency medical services to CAL FIRE, another world-class organization. I was serving on city council at the time and fully understood the challenges we faced back then. Some of our Norco firefighters were friends and neighbors, but we understood the opportunities, both financial and service-related, that presented themselves by contracting with CAL FIRE. It not only made financial sense, but we now benefit from the resources of an organization with a $3 billion budget. The city faced some tough economic challenges when we were funding our own fire department, but those challenges led us to discover a new opportunity with CAL FIRE. I want to thank the leadership of Fire Chief Bill Weiser and all of our local fire chiefs. With CAL FIRE, we enjoy a rapid response time from multiple stations, and if we ever had a major fire or disaster, we will get the resources we need: manpower, air power, you name it. Confidence in public safety is a big contributor to a high quality of life. So are great recreational opportunities. Norco has an impressive network of 14 parks and open space totaling more than 900 acres, as well as approximately 100 miles of horse trail and facilities serving youth, seniors, and animals. Among these facilities is the Rose Eldridge Senior Center that provides so much joy to our seniors, an animal shelter that's the finest you'll find in a city of our size, and the George Engel's Equestrian Event Center that is one of America's greatest equestrian facilities. 20 years ago, before I was elected to serve on city council, I managed the construction of the Merino Arena cover at the Engel's Event Center. Since then, this neighborhood arena has grown into an impressive complex that attracts visitors from around the world. This fiscal year, the complex, which is our largest asset, will continue to grow as we construct the barn, a new multi-use facility that will be available for public and private events. These will also include agricultural programs for our youth. Investments like this are necessary to preserve our lifestyle for future generations. The adjoining George A. Engel's Veterans Memorial Plaza is a testament to Norco's patriotism and desire to honor the veterans who have sacrificed for our nation, including residents who have made the ultimate sacrifice. This year, we unveiled the new Gold Star Families Memorial Monument just outside of the Plaza. This is a fitting addition, and it will serve as a constant reminder that Norco appreciates, supports, and will not forget our military families or their loved ones. I want to thank my colleagues Ted Hoffman and Kevin Bash for serving on the Veterans Memorial Committee, helping to make our memorial a reality. The Memorial Plaza is also an example of the generous spirit of the community, with nearly $2 million in labor and materials donated in the name of our veterans. All of these facilities and parks are maintained on a tight budget by our facilities department, and the city's community services staff creates memories for families, children, seniors year-round. As you can see, we have a variety of resources and amenities that make the state of the city very healthy. But what about Norco's people? Part of overcoming challenges and capitalizing on opportunities that present themselves depends on an engaged public. When people are involved in their community, things get done. And it's one thing to have a great animal shelter, for instance, but when you have dozens of volunteers to staff it and groups like NARC to rescue injured animals, you've got much more than just a great facility. This gathering tonight is an example of an engaged public. First, we have representatives from our nonprofit organizations, people who are committed every day to making Norco a better place to live, whether it's helping seniors and pets, providing after-school programs for children, celebrating equestrian achievements, or just hosting community events. There's not a single aspect in life in Norco that is not touched by our amazing network of community organizations. These kinds of people and organizations represent the difference between just another place on the map and a living, breathing community. We are lucky to be able to call Horsetown, USA home. Being engaged is also showing up to public meetings and getting educated on the issues, like all of you are doing tonight. Some take it a step further and participate in local commissions or on advisory boards. There's not a town in America worth living in where residents don't genuinely care about what's going on. In all the places you've ever wanted to call home, there's a culture of people staying involved. Exceptional communities don't just happen. People create communities through hours of dedication and hard work. Norco benefits from people who recognize a problem and take the time out of their busy lives to fix it, whether it's repairing trail fencing or rescuing stranded animals. Maybe that's why we have literally hundreds of city volunteers honored every May at the Volunteer Appreciation Dinner. We are lucky these tireless people have chosen Horsetown, USA to call home. Let's talk about the lifestyle we share, the lifestyle that defines Horsetown, USA. We are known as Horsetown, USA, and that has much to do with good land use planning as anything. Large lots make us an animal keeping community, and that very spirit comes through in events like Horse Week, the Norco Fair, and the National Day of the American Cowboy, and an event my colleagues Ted Hoffman and Robin Grunmeyer and the community services staff have built into one of the finest and greatest events of the year. We made a choice from the very beginning to be an animal keeping community. As the years progress, we could have been satisfied with being a more typical bedroom community. We could have said yes to every developer or of apartment buildings or truck depots that came to town. And believe me, they are still knocking on the door. But we stood and we continue to stand our ground. In fact, we would be generating much more property tax revenue if we were a more conventional city. We could have sidewalks instead of horse trails, but then we wouldn't be Horsetown, USA. It's not who we are. We've been stubborn, even when it has not been in our best economic interest, but in the process, we've preserved a lifestyle that becomes more rare every day. Good planning often goes unnoticed, but as a former planning commissioner, I can tell you it takes a lot of work to maintain our low-density lifestyle. There are enormous pressures from the development community to compromise our lifestyle, and there are additional pressures of complying with state zoning and affordable housing regulations. To comply with those regulations, we recently adopted our housing element, which is required by the state. This plan will guide future housing growth in a way that makes best sense for Norco. While this may be a challenge, we found opportunities to comply with state law and preserve the rural character and large lot lifestyle in our existing neighborhoods, which will remain unchanged with our designation as an equestrian historic district. I'm sure we all know people who dream to live in Norco one day, whether it's to raise their family, to keep animals in their backyard, to farm on their own property, or just to experience horseback riders on the trail like we see every day. Through this strategic effort, we hope to discover additional opportunities to offer new housing options for Norco's veterans and to provide the ability for younger Norconians to stay in town and continue to celebrate our lifestyle while they save for their dream home and start their own family in Horsetown, USA. Preserving our lifestyle will always be a challenge, but with it comes opportunities, not only to make this a better place to raise our families, but opportunities to promote our city as a commerce destination as well as a travel destination. Through our economic development efforts, we are working to attract revenue-generating businesses that complement the Norco lifestyle and are appealing to the millions of visitors that attend events at the George Engel's Event Center and at Silver Lakes. The city is aggressively pursuing these goals so that people who visit Horsetown, USA quickly discover they have arrived at one of California's most unique destinations. Attracting new revenue operating businesses is a priority for our city because so much of our success hinges on economics. So let's talk about finances. Your family's decisions at the kitchen table are often based on finances, and so are many decisions at City Hall. Every lifestyle comes at a cost, and in Norco, we're constantly struggling to balance quality of life and economics. The initial economic base and finances of the city were not built to sustain this cherished lifestyle. These are challenges associated with maintaining a large lot city. For one, national chain businesses may overlook Norco, thinking there are not enough rooftops to support their restaurants or their stores. Sometimes they search further up and down the freeway, where houses are much closer together and the cities have a larger population. It is also more costly to maintain infrastructure in a low-density community because there are fewer taxpayers to shoulder the burden. But in the face of those challenges are also great opportunities. For one thing, it presents an opportunity to create a unique environment into which we can control our own destiny. It also provides an opportunity to attract visitors because Norco is so unique. Over the last decade, due to the hard work and prudent financial planning by city leaders, the city has been able to maintain our valued lifestyle and has also created a strong economic and fiscal environment that will support our lifestyle for years to come. When I first gave my first State of the City address in 2017, we had a balance of just over $10 million in our general fund reserves. That was quite an achievement for a small community like ours. Today, 5 years later, we have over $22 million in reserves. This is an incredible accomplishment. Not many cities are in this great of a financial position where their reserves could nearly cover their entire operating budget. Good budgeting means capitalizing on good times and being prepared for bad times, and the City Council has been very smart about this. As the economy returns to normal following the coronavirus pandemic, other concerns regarding inflation, rising interest rates, and potential economic slowdown are beginning to take center stage. While our financial reserves are healthy, they are just a cushion against rising costs and economic downturns, and it's still important to plan ahead in a strategic manner. In the Reagan years, the term fend for yourself federalism became popular as financial responsibility was shifted from the federal government to the state governments. Fend for yourself localism is the same concept, but focuses more on cities and counties, while money from Sacramento and Washington gets tighter. Fewer financial resources create challenges, but it also presents the opportunity to become more resourceful and creative at the local level. In Norco, because we have a tradition of saying no to development that doesn't complement our vision, we have been forced to explore new ways of savings and generating income. I've already mentioned the financially smart decision to contract to CAL FIRE. Negotiating tough deals with developers has brought more revenue to the city, and aggressively marketing available development sites to major retailers has resulted in increased tax revenue. Paying for city services and infrastructure, horse trails, streets, water, sewer lines, parks, and facilities is and will continue to be a challenge for Norco, just like in most cities in the nation. It's an even greater challenge for us because we have a smaller population to support these improvements. But in 2018, Norco voters met that challenge and supported Measure R, a 1-cent sales tax that allows Norco to preserve its quality of life, offer top-of-the-line public safety, restore streets, trails, parks, facilities, and equestrian amenities. Initially, Measure R was expected to generate $4.5 million per year, but is now exceeding expectation and is generating over $6 million per year. We enjoy a quality of life that Americans would envy, but it comes at a price. Who we are presents a challenge, but it also opens up new opportunities, and Measure R was our opportunity to control our destiny so that our lifestyle does not disappear. These achievements could not have been possible without the strong involvement and support of Norco residents. Whenever residents are fully engaged, as you have consistently done in Norco, the result is a more responsive and accountable local government. Let's talk a little about how we're allocating the money that we have all worked so hard to generate and maintain. When we are successful in generating revenue, it becomes necessary to manage, invest, and spend our money wisely. It also requires a commitment to innovation to keep our finances healthy in the future. The City of Norco is implementing new technologies, making life easier for residents. For instance, the Norco mobile app helps streamline the reporting and fixing of problems. Now, if you see a broken trail fence, graffiti, or a pothole, you can take a photo of it with your smartphone and submit it to the city, where it gets routed to the responsible staff member. You'll even be updated on the progress being made to correct that. Keeping up with technology is always a challenge, especially in government, where resources are tighter, but technology represents one of the biggest opportunities we have to connect with our residents. If you receive the city's news updates, weekly newsletters, or look at the city's new website, the Norco mobile app, or our official social media accounts, you can see how many great things are happening in the city. In order for local government to best serve their communities and make informed decisions, they need to understand the values and priorities of the residents, all the residents, not just those that attend public hearings or participate in online discussions. Getting a clear understanding of the whole community is a challenge, but when only a small percentage of residents participate, To address this challenge, the City of Norco has launched a new survey system so that all residents have an opportunity to provide input on local issues and participate in the decision-making process. I encourage every resident to sign up to receive city news and alerts and sign up to participate in these local surveys. We've even included a QR code on the back of your program so that you can sign up tonight before you leave. Technology will make us smarter, quicker, and more efficient, and ultimately save us money. Norco, like other well-managed cities and corporations, is embracing technology. Let's face it, if you're not looking 20 years down the road, you're behind the times. And speaking of roads, as a city council member, we're approached the most about the conditions of Norco roads. Historically, maintaining our roads has been a challenge, but in the last 5 years, significant progress has been made. Norco has 100 miles of roadway. Since my last State of the City, our Public Works team has completed 37 miles of pavement projects, which includes 123 streets, meaning over 1/3 of Norco's roads have been improved. Work is getting done, and residents even have the opportunity to track the progress, view upcoming street projects through the interactive map on the city website. Our capital improvement budget includes over $52 million of investments in infrastructure and other asset preservation, replacement, improvement, and acquisition. Throughout this next year, you'll continue to see streets being paved, parks being improved, and facilities being upgraded. This year alone, we've allocated more money than ever before to improving our roads, over $13 million. This huge planned investment in infrastructure and other assets is critical to the city's ability to continue effective service delivery while retaining and attracting businesses and visitors to our community. This year, we've also allocated funding through the city's recreational and homeless programs to enhance and promote public health, safety, and wellness for all community members. Homelessness is a complex challenge in every city. In Norco, we've discovered opportunities to address homelessness by partnering with the City of Corona and CityNet to provide assistance and support services to Norco's homeless population. With the support of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department and funding a new quality of life deputy, we've been able to conduct outreach and connect homeless residents with services and shelter. We also found opportunities to clean up debris in the Santa Ana riverbed so that we can provide safer trails and mitigate life safety risks, specifically wildfire. Our partnership with the City of Corona has proven successful and has become a model for other cities statewide. We should be proud of what we've built, and we should be proud of our State of the City tonight. While the issues facing Norco are sometimes different from those that are facing Eastvale, Corona, Urupa Valley, or Riverside, we share many concerns, including those relating to infrastructure. We also take pride in working with those communities on regional projects that affect us all, such as the Hamner Avenue Bridge project, which will be named after former Mayor Berwin Hanna. We appreciate our relationships with our partners, and I'd like to thank the leaders from our neighboring cities and regional boards that are present this evening. But Norco is unique, and our challenge is to retain that uniqueness for future generations. The greatest legacy we can leave them is the opportunity to grow up in a place like this, a place that still has some of the same qualities its founders envisioned in the 1920s, nearly 100 years ago. Despite our occasional disagreements, we Norconians have so much to be thankful for: our large lots, our horse trails, and an animal keeping lifestyle you can't find anywhere else. There's nowhere else in the world where a neighborhood instantly turns into Main Street as the Disneyland horses take their morning walk. How special is that? We also live in a city whose community spirit is embodied by the nonprofit organizations present here tonight. Every person in this room, service club members, equestrians, teachers, coaches, business people, church leaders, and interested residents really care about Norco. Before I conclude, I want to thank our department heads and our city staff. Norco is a full-service city that is powered by just over 100 employees, which includes full-time and part-time positions. In fact, many are Norco residents. In Norco, we offer most of our services to residents without contracting out to third-party agencies. Our employees are constantly interacting with the public and working to make sure that the residents and visitor experience quality programs, services, and events. Most of the opportunities we discussed tonight are realized through their hard work. Our city is faced with new challenges every day, and I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Norco's new city manager. As you may know, our former city manager, Andy Okoro, recently retired. We are excited to welcome Lori Sassoon to Horsetown, USA, and support her as she excels as city manager and gives City Council the resources and the guidance we need to succeed. Lori? So what exactly is the state of our city as we wrap up tonight? Our vision statement, which clarifies our purpose, reads, Norco will be widely valued as Horsetown, USA, a family-friendly and attractive destination community that enjoys and promotes a diverse resident, business, recreation, and animal keeping lifestyle. I believe we are achieving our vision. We are a premier community of generous, giving people, and Norco is innovative, resourceful city with a sound financial footing, well-positioned to overcome future challenges. We are forward-thinking, recognizing that our past is the secret to our success and to a prosperous future. From this point forward, anytime you're faced with a challenge or frustration, whether it be a neighbor, a business, or the city itself, I urge you to remember why you came to Norco in the first place and why you stayed. When we are faced with challenges, we need to remember the opportunities we enjoy just by living here. This reminder can be very helpful as a guidepost in meeting the challenges ahead, and more importantly, turning those challenges into tremendous opportunities. Thank you for the opportunity to deliver this State of the City address as your mayor. And thank you for joining me as we celebrate the spirit of Norco and its ability to face any kind of challenge and discover opportunities. Thank you so very much.